the thing. What's that?
It's a game. Robots love ice cream.
Of course robots love ice cream. Everybody knows that. So how do you play?
Well, you're this ice cream truck trying to save the planet Earth and trying to keep all the ice cream in the ice cream shops from these alien robots.
Whoa! Aliens! You said... Who said anything but aliens?
I said robots love ice cream. And the alien robots are trying to steal it. So I'm trying to shoot them to...
No, robots, aliens, no, that's it. The end of the world, the end is nigh. The end is nigh.
Let's just teach you how to play Robots Love Ice Cream, the card game.
In the game of Robots Love Ice Cream, you're trying to save the Earth's ice cream supply. And to actually go a little bit further, let me show you in the instruction booklet who you're actually fighting. So if you go onto this first page here, this is Boris Boddington III, and he wants all the ice cream that is in all of the planets. So he is now attacking Earth, or wherever you're watching this from. And he has sent Spinstin and all of Spinstin's pals here, and they are going to try to take all of the ice cream from the planet. So you must stop them and stop Boris Boddington III from stealing all of the world's ice cream. So we are setting up the game here. First thing you're going to determine is how many players are playing the game. So you can play this as a 2, 3, or 4 player game, or you can play it as a solo game if you really wanted to. I'm going to set up as a 2-player game, so I'm going to get rid of these 3 and 4 player planet decks. Just place those off to the side. If you're playing a solo game, you're going to use the 2-player planet deck. So you place that up at the top of the play area, which is just out of sight here. And you're going to go ahead and give everybody their own ice cream truck. So the ice cream trucks are all the same in the beginning of the game, but eventually you'll be able to have upgrades and some game effects that you'll be able to place onto your truck. And also there's a handy dandy little guide here telling you how to play the game in the order of all the rounds and everything. So everybody's going to go ahead and receive a truck. So I've already got my truck right down here. Then you're going to give this deck of weaponized ice cream a really good shuffle. And these have different types of ice cream that you will be using to defeat these evil robots. So I already have my hand of cards here. You will also determine a first player. And once you do that, you're going to give them the first player marker there. And we're going to go ahead and flip over the top card of the deck here, and each of the cards have a number on them. You're going to play them from 1 to 5, and this will tell you how to set up each round of the game. So, or each planet of the game, I should say. So these guys with the green marks on them, or sometimes they'll be red. The red ones are a little bit harder. These are the Spinstons that you're going to put out, and the rest of the guys are his little robot minions. So let's just put that out so you can see that. Let me just tilt this up here. There we go. So we're going to put out 2 of the green Spinstons. These are all the same, so there's no need to worry about shuffling these guys. So we're going to put out those 2 little Spinston guys here, and then his minion deck, or a little robot deck. This should be shuffled as well, and you're going to place out his other little guys here. So first of all, whoop, that was 2 cards. We're going to have Scrambles here. So Scrambles is going to go into that first row. Next one here is we have a Peabody. So Peabody is going to go right there, and we have 1 more for this column. And now we have Pewbody. So that one is going to go right out. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to set up this beam track. Now, this beam track keeps track of the rounds for each planet. Each planet has a maximum of 4 rounds. After 4 rounds, any ice cream that has escaped the beam is now in possession of the robots and the evil overlord kid guy trying to take all the ice cream, which is not a good thing. So the first thing you're going to do, since this is going to be the first round, is you're going to flip over the bottom of the track. And you're going to have that poor little guy trying to hold on to the ice cream as best he can. This will tell you which round you are in. Then you're going to go ahead and look at how many spin stins are out on this planet. Well, there are 2 spin stins out. So we're going to grab 2 of these ice cream tokens, and they are going to go right onto that marker there. They're going to start right off at the bottom. Now, the object of the game is to save 10 of these. There's a total of 13 in the game, but all you need to do is save 10 by the final planet. And once you do, you are the winner of the game. So, how do you play the game, and what do you do, and how do you defeat these robots? Well, you're going to use all of this fun weaponized ice cream. So, let's go ahead and look at what we have here. And we have a rapid pop, a couple rapid pops. We have a boomsicle. Let's see here, we have another rapid pop, and oh, we got a couple brain freezes. That's actually pretty cool. So, the way you will defeat a robot is you will look at their health, which is at the top of the card here. So, for example, Scrambles here has a health of 3. So you must discard a weaponized ice cream of all the same type. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and use 3 rapid pops, and I could defeat that Scrambles. Now, one other cool thing is that I have here are these brain freezes. Brain freezes are wild cards, so I can use them for anything that I want to. So I could stick these 2 brain freezes with this boomsicle and defeat something. You know what? That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use these 3 cards here, since the brain freezes are wild. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to defeat Scrambles there. So I'm going to go ahead and discard my cards into the discard pile, and I'm going to defeat Scrambles. When I defeat Scrambles, you're going to look over here in the other corner, and this tells you the reward that you get. So defeating Scrambles will give me 2 Sprinkletonium. Now, Sprinkletonium is the money that you use within the game to buy upgrades. So those are my 2 Sprinkletonium. I'm going to place those down there. And I can continue on. So, what do I want to do here? Let's see here. I have 4 Rapid Pops. So if I wanted to, I can defeat this Pew Body. Or I can go ahead and I can try to defeat this Spinstin. So getting rid of this Spinstin, he requires 4, and oh look, I have 4. So let's go ahead and defeat this Spinstin. So I'm going to go ahead and discard him and discard these 4 Rapid Pops, all in the same. He gives me 3 Sprinkletonium for defeating him. 1, 2, and 3. Now, I have no more cards, so there's really not much that I can do. If I had upgrades, those might help me, but at this point, I just can't defeat anything else. So, the one thing... Oh, I also forgot. When you defeat a Spinstin, you get to save an ice cream. That's the whole point of the game. How did I forget that? But I have saved an ice cream because I defeated a Spinstin. So the ice cream, I usually just put it right onto my truck there. So... anyways, I have no more cards. I don't have anything else that I can possibly defeat. So one of the things that I can do is I can take one of the Sprinkletonium that I just received and cash that back in to go ahead and draw back up to my hand size. So if I had any cards, I'd just draw back up to 7, but since I have no cards, I'm just going to go ahead and draw 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm back at my maximum hand size. Once you go ahead and draw cards, you can't defeat any more robots, and you can't take any more turns that round. So now we'll go on to the next player. So let's say the next player was able to defeat this the Pew Body and the P Body. So they were able to blast them. So that was 2 and 1. So those will go out of the game. And that was their last turn. There's nothing else they can do. They go ahead and refill their hand if they want to. Now that everybody's taken their turns, the robots get to have their fun in their turn. So what the robots are going to do is you're going to go from left to right each column, if there's more than one column still left. And you're going to go ahead and do each of the things starting from the bottom up. So seeing here, we only have Spinston right here. So he's going to go ahead and do what his ability says. So looking at Spinston, it says move an ice cream token up 1 level. So this little ice cream goes blue, and it goes up 1 level right there. So that is that first round. Now, since there are still robots left, the players now get to have another turn. So let's see here. It's going to come right back to me. And now that it is the next turn, we're going to go ahead and flip this card over here. And number 2 is going to flip up with the poor little dangly guy to show that we're further into the game. And remember, any ice cream that escapes off of this track has been defeated, or if you do not defeat all of the robots by the 4th round. That's also a really bad thing. So, looking at what I have here. See here, we have a Hot Fudge Fun Day, another Rapid Pop, a Boomsicle. We have a Single Serve, a Rapid Pop, a Boomsicle, and another Single Serve. So, this is really not good, because I don't have 4 of anything that I can use to defeat. I have too many cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I don't have too many cards here. That was just strange. Anyways, I can't defeat this Spinston. That's just not good. I have to hope that my opponent has the cards to defeat this Spinston. Oh, but you know what? I completely forgot to do something. That is totally my bad. I forgot. At the beginning of each player's turn, you're supposed to draw 2 cards and discard 1. So let's just go ahead and say I did that last turn, because I would have had an extra card. So I would have had a card in my hand. Let's just cheat a little bit. And let's just say somehow I had something like that. Yeah, I just cheated, but hey, this is my video, and I can do what I want. Anyways, completely my bad. I forgot about that. Yes, you're supposed to draw 2 cards and go ahead and discard 1. So that way you'll have 8 cards in your hand at the beginning of the round. My bad. Sorry about that. So let's just say this is what we have. We're able to defeat that Spinston. So we defeat that Spinston, and we go ahead and collect that ice cream. Now that this planet is completely done, what we would do is we would go on to a upgrade phase. Whoever has the least amount of Sprinkletonium is allowed to purchase first. So if they want to, they can go ahead and purchase any of these things. So for example, they can have bigger tires. So they can ignore attacks from any robot, from the robot Scrambles. So let's go back here. We defeated a Scrambles earlier. Here he is. So if Scrambles was still in the game and we came to the robot phase, he says that all players must discard a random weapon card. So if you have bigger tires on your car, you can get out of the way and you can not have his attack affect you. That was pretty cool. Now we also drew a couple game effects here. So we have Mitosis. So with Mitosis, you will receive double the Sprinkletonium, which is really cool. So that only applies for when you're defeating little chips or little chunks. So if you defeat either one of those, you're going to get double the Sprinkletonium for doing that. And what else do we have? We have a Gummy Wormhole. So if you decide to purchase this card, immediately switch the location of any 2 robots. So you can go ahead and play this card whenever you want to, and go ahead and switch a couple robots around if you don't care for the placement or you're trying to defeat the robots. Now, I don't remember if I explained it, but you can only defeat the robots from the bottom of the column. You can't go ahead and skip to the robots that are at the top of each of the columns. You can't skip ahead to a Spinston. But anyways, those are the basics of Robots Love Ice Cream. You're going to keep on going until you get to the 5th planet. And as you can see, the 5th planet is much harder. We have 3 columns here, and we have this red Spinston. And the red Spinstons have a little bit more health, so that's a little bit harder to do. They still do the same thing, but they have more health, so a little bit tougher on you. But those are the basics of Robots Love Ice Cream.
This program is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at pncn.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
So those are just the basics of Robots Love Ice Cream. This is a really cool game. I would highly suggest this for families. I think they will enjoy this so much. There are some rules in the instruction booklet that you can use to tweak the game, because when I was playing, I kind of felt it was kind of easy. If you're playing with smaller kids, let them make their own decisions, let them figure out how they want to plan out their moves. And I think it scales out perfectly for that demographic. But if you're playing with some older kids or playing with adults, I would definitely suggest some of the tweaks that they have in the book to make the game a little bit harder. So they say you're taking out some of the easier enemies. You might change out all the green spinstons to use only red spinstons the entire game. You can limit different things. There's also ways to make it easier, so you can pick and choose how you want to do. So if you want to, use a few of these rules, but then tweak this one to make it a little bit easier, you can do it however you want to, and I really appreciate that versatility in this game. So this is a lot of fun. If you're a fan of the digital game, I definitely would suggest checking this one out too, because sometimes you need to shut off those electronics and just get the family and your friends to the table and not have that type of distraction. So if this looks like something that you would enjoy, down below I'm going to have a link for their Kickstarter. You can go ahead and check that out. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and help support Cloak and Meeple. Down below, no, it's not down below anymore, it's right over there. I have my logo. You can click on that to subscribe. There's also my Patreon link that you can use to help support Cloak and Meeple. And there's also a link to another video if you want to continue this viewing experience. Thanks.